Hi guys, we're back again for more guides. In the last guide, we've talked about the farming heroes and how to invest in them properly. So in this guide, we're going to talk about the farming strategy that I use, gems, and gears. Without further ado, let's get into it. If you notice in the video, I use 2 of my gatherer marches for armories and 3 for resources. The main reason is because I usually use my slot 1 and 2 march to do daily activities and events. I swap my gathering heroes and PvP marches occasionally, depending if I'm doing daily activities or events. That's why I can easily recall my slot 1 and 2 gathering march on armories and do the activities, then later continue gathering on the armories I left behind. This way, I can always continue gathering resources without worrying if I'm running out. Always empty armories so that it can reset back, and always gather on level 5 armories as much as possible. I usually send gatherers to armories and use 2 marches, but sometimes 3 or 4, because I have lots of resources to spare. I can focus gathering in armories. And send only 1 to Alliance Resources Center. Sometimes send another 1 for Rich Resources Node or event. In conclusion, I send 2 for armories and 3 for resources on regular days. If I'm rushing upgrades on gears, I send 3 or 4 on armories and 1 or 2 on resources, depending if there are any rich resource events on that day. You also need to look at your account as a whole. You never know, you might need a lot more resources than armories for gears to use for speed ups on events like MG or AME. Basically, you need to balance things out and look where you need to focus first. Moving on to the gears. Since you've invested in your gatherer marches, you have now a way to gather faster on armories and have continuous supply of blue and purple gears. What I do is that I automatically dismantle all purple and blue gears because I have no use for them, and to focus on upgrading my legendary gears for my PvP march. To dismantle gears faster, you want to upgrade your Blacksmith to max level 30. Stats wise, legendary gears are better than purple or blue gears, given the fact that you are free to play, low spender, or even mid spender. You'll mostly have 1, 2, or 3 PvP marches. You'd want to use level 60 or max legendaries, rather than purple gears if you are fighting against other players. For PvE, purple is enough, but it's a waste of gear upgrade materials. I recommend rushing your gears to level 80, as it gives better stats than purple gears at level 60 and greater stats at max level. And you'll mostly use 1 or 2 PvP marches anyways. For stars upgrade on gears, you'll realize that it's easy to 1 to 2 stars these legendaries, especially when you are done with Season 1. There are a lot of events being introduced to attain these magma crystals. You just need to be patient and grind it out over time. It took me 3 to 4 months of grinding to max level all my gears on my 1 PvP march. And it's almost the same for star upgrades on gears, to make all to stars or more. Now I'm focusing on my 2nd PvP march, which is the pikeman. The gear stars are almost none, but the levels are progressing. Right now almost all are level 50, but I want it to be level 60 and above before I use this march for PvP. The gear stars are almost none because I am dismantling all the excess pikeman gears, since I am rushing to max the current gears, and I am still focusing on my first PvP march gear stars. I might as well use the excess gears for gear level upgrades rather than let it sit on Blacksmith storage. This is what I usually do to rush upgrade my gears to max level. Dismantle the excess and use for upgrade, since I'm using 1 PvP march anyway, and I don't have a lot of fragments to star upgrade my gears. And still focusing on my Luba march for gear stars upgrade. If you noticed, all my other lineup have level 1 legendary gears and have no stars. It's because I am dismantling the archer and sword legend gears too. The only exception are the cavalry gears that I star upgrade on my Lubu. This is the way I come up with to catch up with spenders who spend on gear upgrades. This is the fastest way to max level your gears for free to play, low spenders, and maybe even mid spenders who don't want to spend money on gears. I might even consider using epic gears to use on my secondary PvP march for a while, since I am able to max level 60 the epic gears now, and it is easier to get the required resources to stars upgrade the gears, and get all those juicy stats while I am still focusing on my main march for star upgrade. So I recommend using legendary gears for your main march first, rush the level and star upgrade on these gears. Then use epic gears on your 2nd or 3rd PvP march, as you are able to max these quite easily. Then later, when you are able to reach a certain star level on your main PvP march gears, you might as well consider using legendary gears on your 2nd or 3rd marches. For star upgrades, focus getting your main damage dealer to 4 stars on their offensive gear. It is to get the skill damage up stat. Meanwhile, get your defensive gears to 4 stars on your support or buffer heroes. You can consider maxing all stars on your damage dealer hero, or just 3 stars on the defensive gears and max stars on the offensive gears to be efficient. For the support or buffer heroes, you can 3-star offensive gears and max star defensive gears. Moving on to the gems. There isn't much to talk about related to gems, because the way to obtain them are through events, daily activities, and shops or stores if you are not spending. But what I can do is to give the upgrade strategy that I use that might help you too. Firstly, before you upgrade your gems, you must collect a certain amount of the same rarity. Just like what I am doing right now on my Guan Yu normal attack up gem. Collect a surplus of specific type of blue or purple gems first before upgrading to the next gems. Because if you don't wait for the surplus of gems and upgrade the moment you have 3 gems on that rarity, you lose stats because you'll have to wear a weaker or lower rarity gems on your empty slots. I collected a surplus of 2 purple normal attack up gems, then upgraded it to a legendary gem. After that, I refilled the empty slot with a higher stat and quality gem. Basically, collect and wear blue gems first and grind, or collect a surplus of it. Why on blue gems? Because it is much more easier to find or grind for it. When you collect a certain amount of surplus, you upgrade it into the next rarity. Then you do the same on purple gems until legendary. On legendary gems, it is up to you to stop or pursue mythical gems. Since everyone has differences and preferences on what they focus on, some have multiple marches working on which we will respect. But the most important thing is to enjoy on what you are doing. I hope you like my guide and strategies that I'm using. This guide is for you and I hope it helped. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more guides.